There comes a moment in every man's life when he stands face to face with a choice that seems small from the outside, yet inside, it feels like a quiet war, a private crossroads, a test no one else will ever witness, a moment that asks him one simple question: will you follow your impulses, or will you follow your values? Most people will never see this battle happening within you, but you will. And the way you respond shapes the man you become. So today, I want to tell you a story about boundaries, temptation, discipline, and the quiet strength a man builds when he refuses to betray the code he lives by. Not a story of danger, not a story of desire, but a story of self-mastery, the foundation of every strong man who walks with purpose. Because here on Atom Psychology, we don't teach weakness, we don't teach chaos. We teach the art of being anchored, even when life tries to pull you off course. So breathe slowly, settle into your chest, and let this sink in. There are times when people will enter your life carrying storms inside them. Unfinished stories, broken emotions, unspoken loneliness. And without meaning to, they will seek light from anyone who listens, anyone who provides warmth, anyone who offers what they're missing. You didn't invite it, you didn't create it, but somehow, you became the place where their emotions landed. In those moments, a man must remember something important. Not every connection is meant to be pursued. Not every spark is meant to be fed. Not every moment of attention is a doorway you should walk through. Because sometimes, the universe sends you temptation disguised as affection, confusion disguised as interest, a moment of emotional weakness disguised as fate. And if you don't understand this, if you don't recognize when something is pulling you away from your path, you may lose yourself without even realizing it. That's why the strongest men in history, the philosophers, the warriors, the leaders, mastered one thing above all: restraint. Not silence, not suppression, but the ability to stand in the fire of emotion and stay untouched. Let me tell you something most men never hear. Your greatest battles will never be fought with fists. They will be fought in your mind, in the quiet corners of the night, in the soft moments when no one is watching. In situations where you could choose the easy path, but your soul whispers that you shouldn't. That whisper is your compass, your code, your inner philosopher trying to guide you back to yourself. You see, temptation is rarely loud. It doesn't kick down the door and announce its arrival. It slips in softly, through kindness, through attention, through emotional closeness. At first, it feels harmless, meaningful, even flattering. But if you're not careful, you will find yourself drifting from the man you want to be. And that is the moment when you must awaken your discipline. A strong man does not fall because of what appears in front of him. He falls because he forgets who he is. And so the first lesson is this: know your boundaries before the world tests them. Because when the test arrives, it's already too late to build them. A man without boundaries is a man who will eventually betray himself. And there is no pain deeper than the pain of a man who looks in the mirror and sees someone he no longer respects. Breathe for a moment. Let that settle in your chest. You are not responsible for someone else's confusion. You are not responsible for filling the empty spaces in their life. You are not responsible for becoming the solution to someone's emotional hunger. Your responsibility is to your character, to your integrity, to your future, to the man you are building day by day. And when someone crosses a line, even unintentionally, you must be strong enough to step back, not because you are cold, not because you are weak, but because you understand something they may not. Every choice carries a consequence. A small mistake today can become a lifetime of regret tomorrow. One moment of emotional weakness can destroy years of inner growth. A single step in the wrong direction can take you miles away from your purpose. This is where Stoicism becomes your armor. The Stoics taught that a man must not be ruled by impulse, but by clarity, by reason, by values, by long-term vision instead of short-term emotion. And so when life presents you with a moment that pulls at your heart, you must pause. You must breathe deeply, slowly, intentionally, and ask yourself, is this aligned with the man I am becoming? Or is this a distraction disguised as connection? If the answer is unclear, then the path is clear. Walk away. Not dramatically, not with bitterness, but with quiet strength. Because walking away is not weakness. It is power. It is maturity. It is the understanding that not every opportunity is a blessing, and not every emotion deserves to be fed. Here's a truth most people are too afraid to admit. Sometimes the universe will test you by giving you something that feels good, but is not good for you. It will place someone in your path whose energy affects you, whose presence comforts you, whose attention feels warm, but who ultimately pulls you away from the man you want to be. And in those moments, you must choose your future over your feelings. You must choose your values over your impulses. Because discipline is not built in comfort. It is built in resistance, in saying no to the things that weaken you, in stepping away from temptation even when part of you wants to stay, in choosing strength over satisfaction. And here's the paradox. When you walk away from what isn't aligned with your highest self, you don't lose anything. You gain. You gain self-respect. You gain clarity. You gain peace. You gain the ability to stand tall in your own eyes. And no external validation will ever give you the kind of strength that comes from knowing you did what was right, even when it was hard. This is the path of the Stoic, the path of the grounded man, the path of someone who refuses to let life derail him, no matter how tempting the moment may be. And if you're listening to this now, if something in these words resonates with you, then hear this clearly. You are stronger than your impulses. You are greater than your temptations. Your worth is not measured by how easily you can get attention, but by how powerfully you can control yourself. True masculinity is not about conquest. It's about restraint. It's about discipline. It's about mastery. A man who can say no when it matters is a man who cannot be broken. So what should you do when life places you in a situation that feels tempting, dangerous, uncertain? You step back. You breathe. You return to yourself. You remind yourself that your dignity is worth more than any moment of emotional excitement. Your peace is worth more than any fleeting connection. Your integrity is worth more than anything someone may offer you in a moment of weakness. And as the noise fades, as the emotion settles, as the world quiets around you, you will notice something powerful. Silence always reveals the truth. And the truth is simple. You don't need attention to feel valuable. You don't need validation to feel worthy. You don't need emotional temptation to feel alive. You only need yourself, your principles, your vision, your path. And when you walk that path with discipline, when you choose integrity over impulse, when you protect your character instead of chasing momentary emotion, you become unstoppable. You become calm, unshakable, grounded, a man who cannot be manipulated by flattery, attention, or temptation, a man who knows who he is. And that is what true strength looks like. So as we reach the end of this message, carry this with you. Not every connection deserves space in your life. Not every moment of attention deserves a response. Not every spark deserves to become a fire. Protect your peace. Honor your boundaries. Walk with discipline. And remember, the world will always respect the man who respects himself. This is Adam Psychology, reminding you that the greatest victory a man can achieve is the victory over himself. Stay strong, stay clear, stay grounded, and keep becoming the man you were born to be.